Welcome to the Prinect Media Manager demonstration. Before we start with the practical part, I would like to give you a short overview about what we will do in the next chapters. So therefore we need to talk first about what the media management with Prinect means. Well, in a normal company, it doesn't matter what kind of product it's selling or producing. You have marketing, you have product management, you have production area, and they all need to have information about the products, about marketing material, and so on. Normally, this information is somewhere in the company. So some is in InDesign format, some is in Word, some is in Excel lists, or maybe there is already a small little database which stores this information. That also means it takes sometimes a long time to collect information, to do a new marketing material, and so on. With media management in Prinect, you have the media manager, and this means all information will be stored centrally in a database, and doesn't matter for which part you need it later on. If you want to use this information for your homepage, for your tablet shop, in a catalog, or for web to print, doesn't matter. You all have it available and you can output it to the correct channel. So for our demonstration in the next 1 hour, we will have a look at the example if we want to run a catalog in a typical print workflow. Before we start having a look in the catalog, maybe some words about the technology in the background. So we are running here an InDesign server, a web server, and a database server. The advantages of such a system is absolutely clear. You have all your information, your marketing material, your products, all the information behind the products stored in one central database, and all the departments can take this information from the same database, and that means you are always up to date, you have always the right information, and if there are changes, you just need to change it once and can be aware that the right values and the right description behind the data is taken. And of course, it's very easy for all the departments or also from outside the company to connect to the system and use the system for running your projects. So let's have a look in a small little catalog which is called Gustav. This is a printed catalog. It is not a big size, it's just 32 pages, and we are selling delicacies with this catalog. So this means if we have a look in the finished product, we will find here some products which are placed, or let's call it articles. And these articles have information behind it. There's maybe a description, a product name, and a price. And of course, this will always change from product to product or from every company. It depends if you're selling doors, lockers, delicacies, or whatever. But you can all run it with the same product with Prinect Media Manager, just the content will change. We will have a look in 3 different modules during our demonstration. One is the Prinect Media Manager itself, the heart of the system. This is where you store all the information in the database. So we can see here an example for our vinegar. We have the product name, the price, the description. This is all stored in the system, and how this information comes to the system we will have a look later on. Second, we will have the layouter. In this layouter we put all these products inside in a layout that at the end we will get this finished product or this project running. In addition, we will have an InDesign plugin. It's all InDesign based. That's why we also have an InDesign server running in the background. And this InDesign plugin gives us a bridge to collect articles from Media Manager into the layouter. That means the InDesign plugin provides us the raw layout pages. So here we see shortly the Media Manager itself again on a slide. So you can see we have some properties behind an article. Once again, this depends on the product, and these properties can be filled with live. You can either do it manual, but normally you don't do that. You can import it via script by providing Excel lists, CSV files, structured XML, or you can have also an import directly from a database. The InDesign plugin once again helps us to get the layout information that we can fill with a layouter plug in our articles in a layout. And at the end, of course, you get finished InDesign pages from the InDesign server. You can open this project in InDesign again via the plugin and do the fine adjustment. Fine adjustment because the layouter is a great tool to fill articles in the catalog, to get your project started and finished. And of course you can also easily adjust some images and have some tools to work on the layout. But the real fine adjustment of the project you will normally do in InDesign, because InDesign is a massive layout tool and provides all the functions you need to get the project finalized. So before we now start with the practical part, let's have a short look how is such a page of a catalog is constructed. So we have normally a static content. It is fixed on every page, for example a page number or a fixed background. And of course we have dynamic content. This dynamic content will change on every page. For example, our articles here from the chapter chocolate. So an article, what is an article, or how does an article look like? This question we have to answer for every product or every project. Because in the initial part of a project, we will have a look, once again, how does an article look like? How many images belongs to that article? Is it maybe 1, 2, 3 images? The parameters of an article, for example, product name, the description, a price, a weight, a product code, or maybe also a size, whatever. And we also need to decide, is it a main chapter article like we have here, the chocolate itself, or is it a product article, for example, milk chocolate, almond chocolate, and so on. This is very important before we start a project to be aware about the structure and to collect all the necessary information. To run the project itself every time again and again, every month or every 2 months, is then not a big deal anymore. There you save a lot of time because you will just fill the articles in your project. And this filling of articles in a project we will either do with a layouter or also automatically is possible with a function called Dropbox. We will talk about this also during our demonstration. Well, to use the layouter, we need to know that we can have master pages, grids, and assets. And all these three is necessary to work with the layouter and to fill the projects. First, the master page. This is our background or our base with the page number, background color, and you can imagine it like a room. And in this room, we fill a grid. This is a pattern of page. It's actually like a rack. And in this rack later on, we can fill the assets or the placeholder for an article to fill all our singles articles in this rack. So whenever it comes to the layouter, we have our master page, the room, we have the grid, which is our rack, and we have these assets to fill the system with life, or the project with life. You can of course imagine that there are different possibilities of assets. For example, single assets here you can see, which is just one part of olives. We can have bundle assets with 2 in it, or you can have bundle assets with 4, 6, 8 in it, or also multi-assets where you fill different articles from different parts in it are possible. So I think it's now enough with theory. Let's start with the practical part, and we will see us soon in the second chapter where we talk about the layouter.